Welcome everybody, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to our Mother's Day special, Fireside with Rabbi Yonah and Rachel. And actually, Moshe, if I could trouble you, I left my capo there. And we got Dana Siegelman on board. Yay!
I'm trying to get it live here, but...
Fabulous. And everybody could share it to their... if you're able to share it on your Facebook page, we can spread the message even further. Oh, that'd be great. Thank you.
Perfect.
Actually, a share would be better if you don't mind. Thank you. Hey, Rachel Bookstein, you're watching too. Wow.
Well, that way I can answer or say hi to people.
I have to remember when we're talking to the camera, we talk to the camera.
Right.
And not to the... We put up a screen now so we can see live your comments as they come in. Hello, Lorette. Hello, Mark. Hello, thank you so much for joining us. Really excited, Mother's Day. You know, we're going to talk about that in a few minutes, about Mother's Day. So, hello everybody. Welcome to this Mother's Day edition. Oh, look at that. We've got our drinks here. We're going to be talking about mothers. We're going to be talking about... What else are we talking about?
Wow,
okay.
Comes up.
Please, if you could, share this on your pages. Moshe, going to share it for me. Thank you very much. Share this so we can spread this message more widely. Hey, young man, you have to stand down there because you're blocking the screen there.
Our production staff.
Hello, Pauline. Thank you for tuning in. Hello. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm going to take a little drink of water here.
There you go.
Ah, that's good. How was your Shabbos?
Shabbos was good.
Tell me about it. You made these gigantic challahs.
I know.
Oh, hey, Doug. We got Doug Moss on and Elizabeth Shane. Look, they're all wishing happy Mother's Day.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I hope everyone also had good days. Good Mother's Day. Everyone hopefully was able to connect with their mom, and if they have kids, with their kids.
Tell me about your Shabbos.
The Shabbos was great.
I want to talk about Mother's Day. We'll get there.
Okay, so Shabbos was great. So the last couple of weeks, I made challah. But the challahs were like on the small side, and they weren't so generous, and we ate every crumb. So this week I decided to make a recipe that was a little bigger, and it got a little out of control.
It did.
It was like a Striganona's pot of pasta, and it was just like, so we ended up with enormous challahs, and they grew really big, and so we have a lot of remainder challah. So I think I've got to work on the middle road here, figuring out how much is too much for 6 people and how much is not enough. Because the last weeks they were a little bit less, they were like a little minimal weeks. So, but yeah, so we made a challah. We had a really lovely time. We had a few balcony chats, which was nice.
Yeah, it was great. It was terrific.
So, yeah, it was great.
The challahs were delicious. Naftali, if you could just angle it back to the way it was, that would be great. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. And we did talk about the activities. The puzzle.
We did a puzzle. I didn't do a puzzle. I had nothing to do with the puzzle.
Puzzle was done.
Still have to work on the bread making here in the England in the Empire. Yes, we understand.
Yeah. There's a lot.
You need any tips? You just send us a message, and Rachel will answer the message.
I'll try. I will try.
You know, I want to talk about how delicious the challah, first of all, was.
Oh, thank you.
And can you tell me a little bit about what you have in mind when you were making the challah?
Sure.
What did you have in mind? You're just like, oh, gotta make the bread,
Right.
or is there something else, going on?
It's interesting. So actually, I hope Dana's still here because Dana was asking me something a couple of weeks ago about Jewish women in prayer. And one of the things she said are there like special prayers, daily prayers for women. And I was thinking like, well, actually, the daily prayers for women are really like daily prayers for every adult. Like, men and women mostly do the same things. There's some people pray more, some people pray less, and there's like some special prayers. But when I was thinking about what's special for women specifically, there's a few things, and some of them are connected to Shabbos, and one is when you're making challah. So there's a bracha and an intention that you set, a blessing when you take from the dough and you set it aside. And back in the days of the temple, it would be a gift for the Kohanim, and today we don't unfortunately have that, so we burn it in the oven. But what has become not just popular, I think, but also feels like spiritual agency for women is when you're just about to take that piece out, and when you're kneading the dough, is you really can like pray and kind of pour your heart out and meditate on the things that you need, whether it's healing for people who are caught in this moment, or healing for people who are just in need of healing. It's nothing to do with COVID and nothing to do with the quarantine situation. You can also pray for all kinds of things. There's lots of groups some people may have run into through Facebook where they say,
yes,
we like 40 women or 40 people who want to make challah this week to think of these names and these people who need a healing or need a shidduch, need to find their life partner.
So there's something
something
spiritual going on when you're
correct.
kneading the challah, when you're
Right.
you're putting it. Now this week in Parshas, we just read in the Parshas Emor, we read actually about the mitzvah of Shavuos,
Right.
right? Which is coming up in a few days here, right? We're on today's the 31st day of the Omer, right? And so at the 50th day will be Shavuot or Shavuos, and the only time we brought challah as an offering in the temple was on Shavuot.
Right.
Now, when you said that when you have a certain amount, you can make a blessing.
Right.
Can you just
Give it.
just hone that down just a little bit more for our audience?
Yeah.
Does that mean it's not holy if you can't say a blessing,
No.
if it's not enough? How many cups?
Right. So you can find this easily if you forget between now and when you make a challah next time, but it's somewhere between 12 and 15, maybe.
Oh, look, we got Farnaz and Mira and Doram, all these holy Jewish
Lovely.
women
So
just tuned in.
If you use, 15 or so cups of flour, depends on if it's sifted or if it's not sifted, it has to do with amount, weight. So it
Okay.
depends on your flour. But if you use a certain amount, which is like kind of a lot, especially if you're using a KitchenAid or a regular bowl, it kind of ends up being 2 batches. Then it's considered enough for you to make the blessing. When you're making a smaller amount
Of taking challah.
of taking the challah, but if you're making
But you're still making the challah.
still making the challah, you're still making the bread that you're going to use for Shabbat.
You're just not separating a portion
Right.
that will be, let's say, an offering.
Symbolically an offering,
Got it.
exactly. But even if you're making something smaller, it's really a vehicle for kavana, for intention, and setting an intention for the food you're making and the food you're giving to people, and really like so much of the prayers and the practice that we do is really helping us become very aware of living intentionally as Jews and integrating that into our lives in a way that feels organic and holistic and not something imposed upon from the outside. A mitzvah shouldn't feel like an obligation with just a burden. It should feel like an opportunity to connect. And I think challah is a great one. There's lots of other great ones, but there's something about that it's like also physical, and it also takes a long time. So you have time while you're kneading the dough to kind of get into a space that is, physical but also meditative.
I don't know any bread songs.
Oh. There's gotta be like
I'm not even sure about any mother songs, but I want to sing a song for you.
Aww.
So on Mother's Day, and then I want to talk about mothers for another moment.
Sure.
Okay. So see if we can get this one to go here. A little bit slow. There we go here. Normally, of course, we'd have, normally, of course, we'd have the whole, all the, I don't know what I'm talking about. We get mommy a tambourine. Baby, where did we go? Days where the rains came down in the hollow, playing a new game. Woo! Laughing and a running, skipping and a jumping in the misty morning. Oh, all alone, I'm stuck with you, my brown-eyed girl. Brown-eyed mother, you're my brown-eyed girl. Oh, whatever happened? Tuesday's so slow. Call down the old man with a transistor radio, and in the sunlight lamp, well, sometimes that's my wall. Living and a sliding all along the waterfall with you, a brown-eyed girl. You're my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember when we used to sing Challah? We used to sing brown-eyed girl.
That was great.
Happy Mother's Day, Rachel.
Thank you.
Phenomenal mother.
Thank you so much.
Everybody writes, and with good reason. They write, it's warm in the studio.
Yeah, I'm like really
it's almost
warm.
like there's a fire behind us or
I
something.
got really warm.
I know, right? So, oh look, we've got Rabbi Gorman, and we've got Reb Kenny from Cleveland, and Rabbi Gorman from the Valley, who's got a phenomenal wife and mother in his Rebbitzin.
There you go.
So people write, greatest mother in the world. Now, one could be offended by that. Like, wait, my mother's
mom's pretty
great. Your
good.
mother's great. You know, hey,
Exactly.
my wife, she's a great mother. Like, you know, is this a competition or something? So I just had this idea. You know, it's like, you know, we're all given the mothers that we need in a way. So they are the greatest, you know.
For us.
And anybody who is a mother and takes on that role, whether it's biologically or whether they adopt and they become a mother, right, or a stepmother, these are the most righteous people in the world, the most righteous women, because they provide so much to us as we grow up, and even when we're bigger.
Right.
And you know, we spoke to our mothers.
Right.
You know, and it's hard because, you know, normally we'd be
Right.
seeing them a little bit
Right.
more maybe.
Right. I mean, last year I flew up to the Bay Area
You flew up to
have
that's
brunch
right.
with my stepmom,
That's
Judy,
right.
and
That's
Yonah's
right.
mom, Dina. We had the nicest brunch, and it seemed so normal. And like, oh, we'll do this again next year.
I
And
know,
it
that
just,
was it was a beautiful thing
like,
what you did.
It was beautiful, you know. But I was like, it was so easy. And I was thinking about that when I spoke to them this morning. I was like, you remember that time?
Right.
I could just get on a plane and fly up.
I like Kenny. We all have our own unique greatness that makes us who we are. Absolutely.
That's so true.
Everybody is
100%.
given by Hashem. Everyone's given by God greatness in their own special way. Absolutely. And every mother is great. She truly is.
Right.
You know.
Right. Absolutely.
And I know we took for granted that you could just fly up and, you know, have brunch.
Right.
That was great.
That was great.
That was
Next
terrific.
year, hopefully, or sooner. The truth is, we don't actually have to wait for Mother's Day. I was thinking about that. There's all this, you know, the news today, people having Zoom brunches, and like, you know, I talked to my mom, I talked to Judy, I talked to your mom, and I was thinking, it's really nice. It's really nice to be able to talk to people where they are and where we are.
That's the only time of year we're supposed to speak to our mothers.
Right, but I was thinking we could do that another time, which we do, obviously.
Of course.
But also, like,
Right.
when we are able, God willing, soon to travel, like, we could redo Mother's Day, like, you know, Mother's Day Shani.
Right.
Because we had Pesach Shanis for people who, you know, so, like, we just had that. So we can do it again. It may not be for 6 months, but, you know, maybe we'll start a movement.
I like that.
Mother's
Day shaming.
Or just to think
I
about
want to make a l'chaim to all the mothers. Okay? Here, that's for you.
Thank you.
Make a l'chaim to all the mothers. We'll use this for our next song. And, okay. So l'chaim, l'chaim Rachel, l'chaim to all the mothers, l'chaim, 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 l'chaim. If you're able to, please share this feed on your profile so we can get this message out to lots of mothers. Judaism has only reverence for mothers. Unfortunately, in our contemporary culture, we have attached some totally unwarranted negative stereotypes about Jewish mothers. And it's really, I think it's actually a little bit part of the self-hate of some of the Jewish entertainers and
Or ambivalent, let's say.
Okay, ambivalence, a little bit more generous, right? And this idea that this kind of very negative stereotype of the Jewish mother, and we've encountered this in our conversations with people, and we see it in the public sphere and in media, and you know this. And I have to say, it doesn't. There's no source in our Jewish tradition for anything but reverence, admiration, respect, and honor for mothers.
Or women.
Well, women as for sure, and mothers in particular, we have an enormous amount of, right? It's not like the Torah says, you know, honor your father, but your mom, you can make fun of her. Right? And it bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
It bothers me because the denigration of Jewish mothers is part of a continuum of dissatisfaction or feeling encumbered by Jewish customs and so forth. We have to recalibrate that.
Sure.
We all have to recalibrate that. And anytime you're somebody who's making a Jewish mother joke, we just have to not laugh, and we have to say, you know, I don't don't. It's not the way I don't make. It doesn't appeal to me. We don't make fun. It's you want to just make a general joke, okay? But I find it taking at the expense of people women who pour their heart and soul into their families and cherish and are such incredible devotion, and we really need to be careful to not fall into that trap.
I hear that.
Right?
Absolutely. And also, I think it's an easy, if you're a comedian, and I'm not a comedian, comedians can correct me.
Low-hanging fruit.
Low-hanging fruit, it's an easy out because, people with both parents have, family conflict and feelings of ambivalence or feelings of, whatever it is. And again, nobody's perfect and everybody's wonderful on the one hand. So it's an easy joke because everyone has something to laugh about in their own relationship with a parent. But it is low-hanging fruit, and I think we can all reach a little higher.
We can.
And I love to hear good jokes that aren't against mothers on
And if you have any thoughts about this, please put them in the comments. If you have any thoughts about this, put them in the comments and ideas. Also, people that you want us to pray for or that we all can pray for, please put them in the comments. We have a much better comment system worked out today, so we can see the comments come in immediately as they come in. Please, we'd love to hear from you. We want to know what you're thinking, and we want to know who's watching. Rachel, what holiday is coming up Monday night?
Oh, Lag BaOmer.
What is Lag BaOmer? What is that?
So Lamed Gimel is just the Hebrew letters for the number 33.
Okay.
So as we go from Passover to Shavuot, we count the days. And we count them, again, with intention. Every day has its own, interesting philosophy or Kabbalah sphere or however you want to frame it. But we count these days, and on the 33rd day, we're celebrating a historical event. And you can talk about that a little bit more, but the way we celebrate it is taking a break from some of the limitations people put on themselves in this 50-day period. And usually it's celebrated all over the world with bonfires and singing. And, this year, I think there'll probably be a lot of barbecue-sized bonfires in people's yards if they have a yard to go to. Here in LA...
Please be careful.
Yeah, really be careful. Here in LA, people go to the beach. There's one particular beach people go to, but it's closed. Dockweiler Beach.
How many years have we been going down there?
10?
More. I think we first went down there in 2009. For sure, we were there.
Yeah.
So this would have been our 12th year.
Yeah. So LA people, if they don't do it in their yard or somewhere safe, they'll go to the beach, which is obviously the most beautiful place around here to do it. And people sing and they celebrate and
Special day.
Yeah, you want to talk about the historical...
Well, we have a tradition that it is the yard site of Shimon Bar Yochai. And Shimon Bar Yochai, according to our tradition, channeled the Kabbalah of the Zohar, specifically the Zohar, put that into writing and created the Zohar. And so it is connected deeply with Shimon Bar Yochai. It's also connected with Rabbi Akiva, because Rabbi Akiva, who was a great sage, he had many students, and there was this plague, which, the plague was supposedly caused, not supposedly, attributed to the lack of respect that the students had towards one another. That the fact that they didn't respect each other, they would not treat each other properly, that actually caused a plague. And according to the Talmud, 24,000
that's a lot of
died.
A lot of
Correct. Now, the plague abated on Lag BaOmer.
Mm-hmm.
So we have that as well. In Poland, it's also was celebrated Lag BaOmer by a pilgrimage to the Ramah, to the kever of the Ramah, Rabbi Moses Isserlis in Krakow, and that was a giant pilgrimage there during those days.
Did they do bonfires?
Very cold. I don't know. Did they do bonfires in Israel? I mean, in Poland. I don't know. Amma Giva, Ashrechem Yisroel. Amma Giva, Ashrechem Yisroel. Ashrechem, Ashrechem Yisroel. Ashrechem, Ashrechem Yisroel. Liknei mi atem Yisrael. Great Lago Omer concert we did. Oh, big shout out to Shaul and Rabbi Gorman, Shane. And
who else do you usually play with on Lago?
well, Lago Omer, of course, we play with the great Evan Charles.
Yeah.
In fact, if somebody could put his, we'll put his name in the notes.
He'll see it on a rerun.
Evan Charles, for the last a decade, almost probably a decade, has been joining us at the Jam. Sam Glazer has been joining us at the Beach Jam.
Yeah.
So big shout out to them.
Yeah.
There's
Minnie and Miriam brought her
Oh
violin.
yeah,
He
oh
brought
they're
his
great.
drum. We had a lot of great Happy almost like Homer, everybody. Oh. So do we have not many comments today? No.
So we apologize if you're just watching this now but not live. Oh, we got Joey Gilbert. So we changed the timing of the program. So we moved it a little bit earlier, and so we hope that you're enjoying what you're doing. Let's not Hatzlachan to raise money for our amazing North Hatzlachan on Money Tuesday. Please put in the link, Kenny. Absolutely. There's a lot of beautiful things. We also absolutely we have a program Monday night. And look, Joey Gilbert, what's up, my brother? You know, this week we had that little Zoom reunion. It was last Sunday. It's already been a week.
Just flew by.
It was yesterday. We had the Zoom of year program. Well, gap year. The Habonim, gap year program. And so we had a very nice time to be with Joey and everybody. That was great. Wow,
A week went by.
Where'd that week go?
I don't know.
So we have a program tomorrow night with Moshav at 9 to 10.
Concert.
A concert. Please God, we'll rebroadcast it here as well. Again, the Moshav Band page. And please check it out.
And also, they have a guest speaker.
And Rabbi Shlomo Katz will also be speaking, that's right. And there's some great telethons. This one, Kenny's mentioning about the Northwest Hatzalah. There's also one for Migdal Or in Israel with some great musicians. There's one for New York Hatzalah as well, I saw, which is great. We have a very personal love of Hatzalah because we have benefited from Hatzalah very much. They really helped us. They really saved the day.
They They sure saved the day.
Challah in Muncie. So we're always eternally grateful for Challah in Muncie, their life-saving call in the middle of the night to our house.
Yeah.
So thank God for Challah. And we have a beautiful Challah here in Los Angeles as well. And they do phenomenal work. Yes, United for Protection, Challah. There we go.
Perfect.
Great.
Thank you for posting that.
Thank you, Kenny. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, Challah does incredible things. We have a member of the shul, at least one. I know Lee is a member. We have other people in the community who are doing beautiful, holy work with Challah. And let's, whenever they respond now to a call, they have to go with protection.
Of course.
It wasn't like that 3 months ago. So they have to get all this equipment that they didn't have.
Right.
And it costs money, and so we want to support all that life-saving stuff. So please, if you can, make a donation. If everybody gave $5 in the Jewish community, the Challah would have enough money to buy all the protection, all the gear, everything they needed.
Yep.
If all of us just gave $5, we're going to give more. But if everybody gave a minimum of $5, we'd really see the results. So we're going to end here in a moment. Although it has been so sweet and wonderful to be with everybody. And I want to pitch a couple of quick things. So this week we have, starting tomorrow, we call it Meditation Mondays. And we're launching this series. There's going to be beautiful. I already watched the first, some of the shots from it. It's a great job.
Yeah.
Marcus Freed, many of you might know him from programs we have run over the years, Julicious, Camp Neshama. Marcus has created a meditation for us leading into Lag BaOmer. It's premiering tomorrow. Lag BaOmer.
Just for Lag BaOmer.
Yeah, then every Monday it's going to be a different one.
Got it.
So we're going to do up to Shavuot, and then we're going to go beyond that. So Meditation Mondays. It's premiering on the Pico Shul channel on Facebook and on YouTube. It goes live at 8:30 tomorrow morning, so please check out that. Meditation is very important always, now more than ever, for people to work on their connections. And a lot of people think that meditation is only some Eastern thing that's from Far Eastern religions, and absolutely there's a very strong meditation tradition in Judaism, and so Marcus will be drawing on that. It's called Kabbalah Sutra Meditation, and we're looking forward to that tomorrow. And that series, we're going to be adding additional teachers as well as the summer progresses. Very excited about that. As well, please tune in. By the way, Sefer Torah in Poland. Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Kenny, for that note. Additionally, I want to tell people that we have events and programs during the week. I teach the Shulchan Aruch every Monday through Thursday morning at 9:30, and I teach the Sfas Emes on Friday. That's taught on Zoom, and we always post that information on the Facebook page. So if you're not receiving it, you can log into that.
Great.
And then Friday, we did that great thing with Yehuda Solomon and Reb Davi Sachs. That was a great way to bring in Shabbos. So I encourage everybody. I know it's a ways away. I know it feels like a year from now. But please tune in on Friday evening. That's a great time. So we want to wish a big mazel tov to the Pollocks, who had a baby, to the Kordas, who had a baby. And we didn't have a chance to do it publicly here.
We didn't make it.
And we want to wish a mazel tov to the Solomon family on the bar mitzvah of Evyatar. His bar mitzvah day, I think, is Monday. I think is his actual day of his birthday and bar mitzvah. So big mazel tov to Evyatar Solomon, and may he continue to grow to be such a mensch and follow in the footsteps of his parents, holy parents, and holy family. Wish him and his family a lot of blessing. We want to wish a mazel tov to the Newman family on Dubi Newman's bar mitzvah, which happened last week, and
the Amsaloms, which was last week. And
the Amsalam family, I want to wish them a mazel tov. So even in these times of disconnectedness, we are figuring out ways of staying connected.
Right.
And I can't say it enough. That is why
we did a Malava Malka breakfast.
oh my God, that was so much fun.
It was the most fun.
Want to tell them where we did?
So Yonah's one of his, dear friends from the early days of Poland, Mati Kos, Rabbi Mati, and his family live in Manchester. And so Yonah and Mati learn almost every day. And we got to visit his family last year, and our kids connected. It was wonderful. We just deepened our connection with them. And last night we were doing Malava Malka, and they were having breakfast, and we were having Malava Malka, and it was so nice. It was just the sweetest thing. They pretended they were having a Malava Malka. So their son Moshe had a piece of kugel. He's like, oh, it's Malava Malka. He was really into it. Kugel for breakfast.
Right. It was
very
7:30
sweet.
in the morning.
Yeah, 7:30
for
in
them,
Manchester.
and it was 11:30 for us.
Yeah, it was great. It was really fun and creative, and so.
Right. So you can do so many things to keep connected,
Right.
and we call our online program Kasher Online because we got to keep connected.
Yeah.
We all have to keep connected. Zoom calls, phone calls, Facebook Live,
Exactly.
and everything.
Exactly.
So.
It's the best thing. It's so amazing we have this technology.
So we'll end with the song we end with every week. Kol haolam kulo Gesher tzameo Gesher tzameo Oy Gesher tzameo Kol haolam kulo Oy Gesher tzameo Oy Gesher tzameo Ve'ha'ika ve'ha'ika Lo levachem Lo levachem Ve'ha'ika ve'ha'ika Lo levachem But the main thing to recall is to have no fear. Have no fear at all. And the main thing to recall is to have no fear at all. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Happy Lag BaOmer, Shavua Tov, Shavua Tov.